This is the plaintiff, Lisa Wilson. She says the defendant is her ex-boyfriend, and he shot her cat in the eye in a fit of anger, and the vet had to remove her cat's eye to save its life. She's suing for $1,000, the amount she had to pay the vet, and for pain and suffering and inconvenience. This is the defendant, Clinton Fletcher. He says the cat went nuts and sprayed pee at him and the plaintiff's baby, so he did what he had to do and tried to scare it off with his pellet gun to put an end to the situation. He's accused of causing a cat catastrophe.
All parties, please use your right hand. People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Leontown presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Ms. Wilson, what happened here?
Well, Clinton and I have known each other for 7, 8 years now, and I lived with him previously. You know, we tried to have a relationship, but that didn't work, so we just became really good friends. And when I lived with him previously, I had 2 cats. No big deal. Then when I was going to move in there this last time in May of 2019, you know, I had 3 cats, and he asked that, you know, I try and get rid of what I could of them. So I just had my 1 kitten, and so that's what I brought up with me. So we moved in there, and
Who moved in there?
me, my daughter, my 2 dogs, and my little cat moved in with
How old
Clint.
is your daughter?
She's 3 now. She was 1.5 then.
Okay, go on.
I knew he was having issues with the cat, like said his landlord was having problems with it or gonna have a problem with it. So I was doing everything I could just to get us out of there quickly, and went out one night and just tried to find us a new place, talk to friends that I knew out there, just to try and get us out of there, and came back and I couldn't find my cat, who was always going to go to bed with me, always went to bed with me. The next morning I got up and the cat was up on the bed with me, and its eye was just completely mangled. It was not pretty. And so I hurried up, got my daughter dressed. I went downstairs. I talked to Clint. You know, he said that, you know, maybe the dog did it. He had a puppy. Yeah, puppy then. And I didn't hang around. I went to the vet, and they took a look at him and realized that they were going to have to remove his eye, but they couldn't do it that day. So they just gave me medication for him. Upon coming back, while the cat was still at the vet, I tried to talk to him some more, and it just didn't sit right with me. Like, I didn't feel like that's what that happened to the cat. It was the dog, and he didn't express any real concern or care or anything, even the fact that I was broken up about it. So I just packed up my daughter, I packed up all of our things, and went and got my cat and had to drive 2.5 hours, go stay with my dad, who I couldn't have animals there. So we stayed there one night, and I moved another 2.5 hours away down southern Minnesota, and ended up staying there for a while until I bought my house.
You bought a house? You were couch flopping in all those places, and then you were able to buy a house?
No. I had a house that I'd sold when I moved up with Clint, and I was going to look for a place for us up there.
Okay.
I just thought it'd be nice to.
All right, can I ask you a question? Did you ever talk to Clint
Sure.
and say to Clint, I don't believe you. I don't think it was the dog.
I did, as we were out at my car, as I was packing my stuff in the car.
And
he didn't have anything to say. He just kind of shook me off.
what happened, Mr. Fletcher?
Well, like she said, she asked to move up with me till she could find a place. I asked her not to bring the cats. I said the dogs were bad enough. I got a smaller house with 2 dogs of my own, her 2 dogs, my 11-year-old son at the time, and also her little daughter. So it was not going to be much room in here. Besides the fact that I expressed I did not want a cat in my house again. I don't like the smell of the litter boxes. I don't like them in general. She brought up an unfixed male cat, and 2 different times I went up and found the blanket covered in cat pee with their daughter in the playpen. I tried to catch the cat to I was going to take it out down a couple miles down the road to a farm and release it. And when I grabbed the cat, it scratched my arm. I was upset and I shot at it. I thought I missed it because the cat didn't even flinch. It ran off and hid, and I never seen it the rest of the
How
night.
did you have a weapon in your hand, coincidentally, in order to shoot it when it scratched you? You had to have gone
wasn't
to
in my
grab the
hand.
weapon in order to shoot it. Right. So you went to the weapon and you shot the cat in the eye because the cat peed.
My pellet gun is in my room.
Have I got that right?
Right.
How is it that you go and grab a pellet gun in anger, and you shoot the eye of, you shoot the cat to kill it, but you missed, and you instead maim it for life, and it's got an eye missing? Because where I'm from, that's called cruelty to animals. I don't understand.
I was not intending to injure the animal. The pellet gun was in my bedroom where I was
what were you
at, where the
intending
cat
to
was
do?
at.
Right. What were you
Originally,
intending to do with the pellet
I was intending to
gun?
take the cat out of the house. After it
Right, but that's
scratched
not
my
what you
arm,
did. You
I got
shot
mad.
the cat. You shot the cat. In anger, you
After it
shot
scratched
at an
my arm.
animal. Yeah, because it's an animal. See, the self-defense rules don't work. When you turn around and you walk over there, you're not trying to save yourself from the vicious kitten. What you're doing is, in anger,
I was trying to
shooting
prevent the
at a
daughter.
kitten. The
I was preventing the daughter
You're
from
trying to
getting
prevent
peed
what?
on anymore. The daughter from getting peed on by the cat
There's
anymore.
another
It
way.
was 2 times
Yeah,
it's
there's another
happened.
way to do that, and that's to remove the cat and take the cat to a shelter or something, if that's what you're really worried about. If you're really worried about her daughter, or you tell her you got to find somewhere else to live and lock the cat up in your room. There's so many other things besides shooting the cat in the face with a pellet gun. So many other alternatives. So many. You weren't concerned about the baby. You were angry that you got scratched by a kitten.
No, I was concerned
I'm
about the
like,
daughter getting peed on
I'm
anymore.
aghast. What? Can I ask you a question? Did you call the police?
Yeah, I had called the police after I had moved out
And
of
what
there.
happened with that? What happened with that? What happened with the case? Because that would be filed in an instant where I'm from. How did that not get filed?
They did. And the officer was even surprised that the DA didn't charge him with animal cruelty. He was shocked.
Of course he should have been charged with animal. Where are you from? What town are you from?
He's in Emily, Minnesota.
Emily, Minnesota. So apparently there you can go around shooting each other's pets with impunity, and the DA won't charge the case in Emily, Minnesota. Is that right? Because I am aghast. You maimed an animal for life. How does he not end up in jail? Ms. Wilson.
Yes.
You are asking for the cost of the cat, the cost of your vet bills, and pain and suffering in the amount of $1,000. Unfortunately, you don't get pain and suffering in this kind of a case. But I'll tell you what you do get in this kind of a case where I'm from. You get punitive damages. So I am not only going to order him to pay you the $1,000, I'm going to order him to pay you double that. $2,000 verdict for the plaintiff.
So the plaintiff prevails. She gets double what she was seeking. You know, Mr. Fletcher, the defendant, you come off as a really pretty cruel individual. What do you think about that?
I'm not cruel. I was not trying to hurt the animal. I was trying to get rid of it completely. And I'm sorry that it's injured.
You know, the judge thinks you ought to be in jail. What do you think about that? No comment?
Not much to think about it.
All right, sir. Well, it's costing you $2,000. Let's talk to Ms. Wilson. Ms. Wilson, how do you feel about the outcome of the case?
That does help cover all the trauma that we went through and the moving we had to do and everything. Doesn't change that it happened. It destroyed a friendship. It destroyed a lot.
Anyway, congratulations. You did prevail in this case, so good for you.
Thank
All right, that'll wrap it up for the case. Let us join the judges now and see what they feel about this case and the aftermath of it. It's time for another session of After the Verdict.
Punitive damages awarded in this case, understandably, and that's something that judges don't do very often. It requires clear and convincing evidence, and it requires that you find outrageous conduct on behalf of a party that's really beyond the pale, and I guess it wasn't too hard for you to reach that conclusion.
I wasn't trying to maim it. I was trying to kill it.
Really,
Yeah.
just horrendous. I had a felony animal cruelty case in my courtroom about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. You'll remember the case where the guy stabbed his girlfriend's puppy because he was mad at her. They were having a domestic argument, and he said, "You love this puppy more than you love me." Wham! And he stabbed the puppy pretty severely. It did survive with some neurological damage, but and was adopted by the officer who responded to the animal cruelty call, which is kind of a happy ending.
I did not know that
I'm
last
not sure
piece.
I told you that.
How long is that guy serving?
I think he's in state prison for a year and a half, 18 months, 2 years.
Yeah, because in a civilized society, that's what we do.
Right.
We don't have animals killing animals. We don't do that. We don't allow somebody to get away with maiming a cat.
Okay, Gretchen wants to know this. Hey, Harvey. I know Doug was once bitten by a dog in the hallway. Have there ever been any other injuries on the People's Court? Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, in season 1, Judge Milian was in her chambers. I was there too, actually. And there was a little chihuahua there. And the litigants came in because the judge was dealing with the chihuahua. And that chihuahua nipped at her. I ran out because I didn't want to hear what was going to happen next. But yeah, that happened. That'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case inside the courtroom.